Welcome to the podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Clem, and this is Turns Out We're Gay.
Thanks so much for coming back on the podcast. We've just done our interview with both of you. I fully stumbled in your interview, Kirra. I'm so sorry. NRLW.
Correct. Well done.
Perfect.
You've nailed it now. Just took some practice, you know.
It did. And I don't know why, but anyway, thanks for coming back. We thought we would have an extra little bonus segment talking about you two as a couple.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It means you're going to make me be cheesy, eh?
Okay, so thanks for coming back on the podcast. It's been so good meeting with both of you individually. We're going to start off with a simple, basic, normal question. How did you meet? What is the love story? Let's go through it. Let's start with your version of the story.
Well.
If you were trying to find an ick, that was it.
Surprisingly, not the it. You'll find
surprisingly,
out.
that was normal.
Yeah, I was like, all right, back to putting me on the hot seat, which I have no doubt you've already elaborated on this. So it's going to be old school soon because it wasn't TikTok. So I did watch a few episodes of her season of The Bachelorette, but because I'm really bad at watching reality TV, did not commit to it. So I was like, cool, just left it there. And then stumbled across her on my For You page.
Stumbled.
It was
in
a For
happy
You
hole.
page. Here we go. It's not your turn.
Okay.
But honestly, thought nothing of it. Like, I'd seen her on TV. I knew she lived in the same area as I did. And just kind of left it there. And then, like, several months later, saw her post a nice little video of her training for a triathlon in the gym that we both train at. And just made a comment about it. I had already signed up to be there and had already spoken to them, but definitely pretended that I didn't. And was like, hey, like, I'm thinking of signing up. My friends go, like, do you enjoy it? And then, just slid into the Instagram DMs so smoothly. She didn't know I was hitting on her for a week.
She was like, yeah, come train with me.
Literally, I was like, do you need a friend to train with? Like, what classes do you want to do? And she's like, I'm in the athlete section. And I was like, I'm definitely not in the athlete
I was
section.
also in the peak of, it's like, we were just about to start season. And I was like, I can't just do extra sessions to try and hit on this girl. I was like, no, I'm on a regime. Like, I got to stick to my schedule. I was like, oh, nah, it's fine. How you doing, though?
Yeah, I had a friend I was visiting. I showed her some of the messages and she was like, she's hitting on you. And I was like, oh, want to catch up and go for a walk?
Interesting. It's the walk.
It's the walk. I love a walk.
Oh, what is it about a walk that makes it romantic, though?
Oh, it wasn't about romance for her.
No.
It was about make sure that we're not looking at each other's eyes 24/7 and I can do something with my body so I don't fidget.
Yeah. I gotta keep moving on a date.
Yeah.
I can't do like sit across from each other dinners and have to look at someone in their eyeballs for 45 minutes, an hour or more if the date's good. Yeah. It won't be if I have to sit next to you at dinner. I'll be leaving as quickly as I can. But I just love a walk with just full stop. Full stop. You want to make me happy if I'm sad? Oh, I was going to say
Could
something.
you imagine if you were really sad and I was like, babe, I'm going to take you on a walk? You'd literally be like, do you hate me?
I'd be like, we're breaking up.
Do you know me at all?
Also, I'll just touch on that. First of all, I didn't realise Holly and I actually went on a date then because we went on a walk.
I didn't realise either.
Second of all, you weren't very happy on our walk because you were crying about your ex the whole time.
What an awkward date.
She's like, walking makes me happy. I'm like, didn't make me happy that day.
Oh, God.
I was also going to make a joke, probably not the time. Yeah. I was going to say Sam.
Oh, no.
All the tea.
No, I didn't cry. And this is a huge thing for me. Anyone who knows me knows that I cry all the time at happy things, sad things, dog videos, the news, my life. And then when I met Kirra, I didn't cry for like 6 weeks, which is unheard of. I actually told my family. I was like, I haven't cried in like 6 weeks. I remember my mum being like, wow, what the fuck?
Oh, that's so cute.
So you slid into the DMs. Then what?
We went on
And
a walk.
then went on a walk.
Oh, that was it.
I wasn't.
No.
I didn't want a relationship at the time. I just gotten over. No, I was getting over a really hard breakup. The worst breakup I think I've ever had, as I've said that to you. Sorry, babe.
Oh, no, I was well aware of that day one. I wasn't planning on that either.
No.
I was moving to
You
Queensland.
moved to Queensland. I was like, I want to be single. I just want to like pick up the pieces. She was like, yeah, I'm going to go be a football star in far north Queensland.
I wasn't too far off my last one either.
Yeah, you weren't, were you? No, but that's fine. The tea. So we just.
No, it's not that juicy.
It's not.
But just, yeah.
Just sad.
It was like,
Yeah.
long-standing, a sad ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of similar to our story. Not me so much, but you had just
I
come
was
out
pretty
of something
fresh, yeah.
and you needed to.
And I was doing a Holly or Kirra. It's actually quite funny because Holly, that was probably the time we hung out the most. When Holly was opening up to me and I remember sitting down and she was like, oh, no, I'm talking to this girl, but it's just fun. Like, she's hot
said
and
that
it's
to
just
a
a bit
lot
of
of people.
fun. Oh, my
Oh, you
goodness.
said it was hot.
Oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, this will be great for like a short time. This is perfect. And then I literally said to her, I was like, I'm going to ask you in 1 week how you feel about this girl. And we sat down for a coffee and she was like, I said, I love you.
It didn't take long at all. It was like a very overnight flip, I think, for me.
It was literally an overnight
Literally,
flip for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kissed one of my friends at a wedding and I was like, ooh, I like Kirra.
That poor friend.
And so, how long have you guys been together now?
About a year,
Almost.
almost.
So, like
Not quite.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
relationships.
absolutely. Yeah.
Basically married.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
We've got a son together.
You do. I've seen.
Well, I
lots of
will actually
photos.
note there's actually something on your hand.
There's no spoilers here. Don't get too excited. It's just where they fit.
It is.
Just conveniently fit on both of your hands.
Yep.
And that's
It's not a queer
This is not-
relationship.
yeah.
Not a queer relationship without an initial ring, is it? It just happened very seamlessly, very easily.
I think the most wholesome part is we probably went into it, neither of us were ready for that. Because, like, other than the breakup part, like, both of us actually had really positive relationships before this.
Yeah, that's interesting though because I was in a similar situation. Like I had just, I think, gone through my first lesbian heartbreak and was going through that and very much not in the space that I wanted to find anyone, and it just sort of fell into place. And I think when you're with someone that allows you that space to sort of figure it out on yourself and stuff like that, it just worked. And
That was really
cliche.
important to me for you to like feel those emotions, even though we had met and where we are at now. But I think a lot of people don't give that grace and space to their potential partner. And that's where you meet someone really special, but because you don't leave that space, you lose that person in the process. But we're all human at the end of the day. And that's super important. That was really important to me when I met you because you were heartbroken. Not
don't know
hopefully
what
not
you're
anymore.
Ooh, that's relatable.
No, but you were. And I think if I didn't give you that space, then we wouldn't even be here.
no way.
Yeah. And you had your other ways of dealing with it. The tea. It's not really tea. But no, I think it is relatable. And yeah, I think when you meet the right person, it can come at like the worst time. But as long as there's space, yeah.
You mean just before doing long distance, immediately after?
But also we've said that if we'd met any earlier than we did, we wouldn't be ready for the relationship that we have now.
Yeah, we've
No,
said the
God,
same
no.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
We needed to go through the lessons of our last ones and I guess heal in the ways that we did. I was definitely a little bit more prepared. I had a little bit more time than you had, I think. So sorry about that. But yeah, like the lessons that we got from that. Also, if we met each other at any life phase, we would be not compatible at all. We've talked about where we were at what ages and we're like, oh yeah, nah, would not have worked.
would not have worked out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we've met. You've moved in together now, right?
Yep, live
Yeah.
together with our
Son.
fat boy Gustavo Carl, who is a cat, for those who don't know. And we also have a really beautiful housemate. He's fantastic. So he'll look after me when Kirra goes away for the next 5 months.
Yes, he will.
So you guys have done long distance in the relationship already. What has been the toughest thing for you doing that? Other than the distance, of course. Nothing.
No.
It's actually great.
I think the hardest part was because we both probably weren't ready when we met
Yeah.
for a new relationship, and then figured out that like there was no chance that I was gonna let her disappear. Plus, like with stuff happening within my sport that delayed the release of our draw. When we went into a long distance relationship, we didn't have a lot of time to like plan it,
Yeah.
and we also didn't have a lot of time together before I left.
Yeah.
So it was like not having much of a baseline for like what we were without the distance, and trying to book flights for both of us to have time together when everything came out so late that we didn't know when it worked with her work, or the home games when she was cheerleading, or my home games and how much I came to Sydney. We just didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So we were going in like more blind than usual. That probably made most of our challenges. Whereas this time, as much as it's still going to be pretty hard, like it should be easier because we already have a rundown. So we can just like fight the rest when it gets there. But there's no like, hey, can you get here in like 2 weeks? Because we're just like hoping for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. The foundation's been built now. So there's a lot more there already. So that distance won't be as hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we figured each other out. I mean, obviously, as you do in any relationship, but you had to, and we had to be really good at communicating.
We had to do a lot of talking.
I had to do a lot of FaceTime. But it was good. I think we really learned, I really learned a lot about myself and what I need, and I learned over time how to express that to you, which we may not have learnt so quickly had we not been long distance.
Yeah, absolutely. The communication grew very quickly.
Yeah.
As it does with women in general. And then in a long distance relationship, that's so typical of us, honestly. We couldn't have hit it any more on the head, right? But yeah, it's always going to have its challenges because we're just apart. We'll figure it out. We'll do better this time and the time after that.
I think something that I found very validating, and I've expressed this to you, is one of my exes told me that they didn't think they could leave me on my own because I wouldn't function, that I couldn't survive without them, that I couldn't be left alone, and a whole lot of stuff that took a really long time to get over, and then flourishing, doing long distance, and then coming back and moving in together and kind of planning at least the next year. It's just been super validating as well.
Do you think that's a personality trait of theirs, to think that, was that more of a controlling thing of, wanting you to think that you can't be without them? Or do you think that was how the relationship was naturally?
I think a lot of stuff happened in that relationship, and I was a very different person in that relationship to who I am in this relationship. And it wasn't from a controlling point of view, but I was the way I was as a byproduct of that relationship.
Right. So that codependency grew with the relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And did you find that tough to relearn? Because you almost have to go into a new relationship and relearn those traits. Was that something that you found challenging, or was it quite natural?
There was a lot that I needed to relearn, and there's still a lot that I'm relearning, and I think everyone's a bit different in each relationship, and I wasn't the version of myself for them that I am now for Kirra, which is probably not a great thing for my last partner. So it takes a while to unlearn, and I'm still unlearning, I would say.
Has that been rewarding for you? Like, has it been weightlifting to relearn those things? You can tell me to shut up at any point, but I have lots of questions around this because I went through a similar thing myself. And that's why I found it quite liberating myself, relearning and growing as a person and picking up these traits and trying to take weight off where weight didn't need to be.
I'm not sure about you, but sometimes I have this like, I did that.
Yeah.
Or, oh my gosh, go me.
Yes,
I have a lot of those like
it.
little win moments.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think like everyone's got to relearn in a new relationship.
Yeah, totally.
Not just based on like the person you became, but like the way that your partner deals with stuff, the way that conversations happen. And I would say for you, it was definitely a mixture of that you weren't ready, and like we took the time at the beginning when we met to like work through that. But just, I think it sounds like I've got a bit of a different personality or a different way of dealing with things. So I think when they happen, sometimes it takes you a minute, but other times it's, literally like this whitewash over her face that she's like, oh, is that cool? I'm like, yeah, that's what? So it's left us with a few wholesome moments when something like that happens. But every day there's something else to learn, but you're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing great, sweetie.
You're doing great, sweetie.
That's so awesome. And it's really good when you're with someone, and this isn't a dig at your ex at all, but it's great when you're with someone that you can communicate so well with and have that safe space to be able to have those moments and grow and change or whatever you need to do. And that just speaks volumes to the relationship that you have, I think. Not to make you all cry.
You might
Sorry,
make
we got
her cry.
we got a little bit emotional there. No, but I love
I haven't
that.
cried today.
Pop off, queen.
I didn't cry this whole weekend.
Well, I'm about
That's
to
gay
make that.
Christmas.
Let me change that. I love seeing that growth, that individual growth and things that people are proud of. And me personally, I had to go through so many challenges to outgrow a lot of what I would consider as bad behaviour. Maybe someone else might not. To be able to get into not only the life that I have now that I'm very proud of, but the relationship that I wanted. And something that I deserved. And I think it took a lot of relearning to get to the point where I'm at now. Love you, babe. But I think it's something to be celebrated.
Yeah.
And I think you should be very proud of yourself.
Celebrate the little wins.
I think they're quite big. They're not little wins.
I think it's actually crazy though. Like you said, you have that moment where you're kind of like, yeah, that's okay or whatever. Like we have that
We
a
have
lot,
that.
more so Sarah than me.
Yeah.
But where Sarah just sort of turns around and being like, has someone in your past not thought that this normal behaviour is okay? And I'm like, yeah, 100%. Like this
Yeah.
would have not been okay in any sense.
Yeah.
And she's just like, this is you. And you know, like
Yeah.
that's so fine and so okay and stuff. And it's the most refreshing thing ever.
What really changed that for me, and I know this isn't a podcast about me, but here
She's
I
like,
am
but I'm
Kind of
gonna
making
make
it
it.
about me. But we were talking about this last night actually with our friends, and what really pushed me to change was going into like a polyamory type of environment. I really learnt a lot around jealousy and security and trust and those types of things. And although I don't identify as poly now, it did teach me a lot. And coming into the relationship I'm in with Clem, we have a lot of conversations around that, around the ability to have individual experiences without jealousy and open communication and have a cheeky little flirt when you want. Like if you've got a lot of trust and boundaries in your relationship, you can have those experiences, and that's something that I'm super proud of. And I think that's been unique to you to experience.
100%. I
Yeah.
think I'm just like a cheeky person. Crazy. I'm sure none of you know that, but
I would have never guessed.
yeah, no,
Never
that's
seen
crazy.
it.
And some people think that's flirting. I don't know why, but that's something that people have been very uncomfortable with. And I think it's almost my way of being comfortable in a social situation. I've had so much social anxiety over my lifetime that that's my way, being the larrikin or being cheeky or whatever. Most of the time it's actually kind of like having a dig at someone, and it's that treat them mean kind of thing where everyone's like, oh, she must like her or whatever. I'm like, no, I actually just had a dig at you kind of thing. But it's like, that's just
I
my
just want you to
personality.
like me.
Literally, I'm like, I'm just uncomfortable. And that's something that's just me. And Sarah just almost sits back and like smiles and just watches me do what I need to do in a situation to make myself comfortable. And
Yep. I couldn't be more proud of you in those moments because I know how hard it is for you sometimes. And it really hurts me to think that someone would want to shut that down or someone would want to start an argument over something that could just be a really innocent, it's cheeky Clem. Come on, guys. Like, we all know what Clem's like. But that's been really a huge thing for me, and it took a lot of relearning. There's no way past Sarah could do that. And so, yeah, take the wins.
Yeah. I definitely think that I'm the most secure in any relationship that I've been in
Yeah,
this
me
one.
too.
Nice.
Okay, this is a whole other episode that we could go to. All right, let's talk about your favourite things about each other. Go.
Oh, God, here we go.
I ask Clem this question 3 times a day. What's your favourite thing about me?
why do you love me? That's the
when did you first realise you loved me? Tell me the story.
Well, why don't we keep it to, 3 of your favourite things about each other.
God, 3 is not enough. And I know I'm the one that doesn't want to be cheesy, but like that doesn't encapsulate Holly.
If you want to
at
break the
all.
rules, you can break the rules.
Okay.
Are you going first?
Holly's going
yeah,
first.
that's a first. Isn't
I started.
it? Okay, you go, babe.
No, I was kidding. Sorry, I was kidding. You go. I know you're going to be more comfortable.
She's like, I'm ready. Let me go. I'm ready. I know the feeling.
I know the answer to this one.
Pick me.
Something that we talk about a lot is our ability to be silly together. You know, I think these days you hear a lot of the catchphrase inner child being thrown around. But honestly, we just have such a laugh. It's so good. That's probably number one. Number two, again, something we've discussed. Actually, we've just discussed every part of this.
Don't you remember the beginning of this? You ask me this question all the time. All the time.
How dedicated you are. Dedicated to me, dedicated to your work, dedicated to your sport, dedicated to your family. I think that that's something that's really admirable, and not a lot of people have as much perseverance and resilience and determination that you have. And your eyes.
End of scene.
And what about you? Off you go.
Like I said, I don't think 3 is going to do the justice. But if I'm going to pick some top ones, can I just agree with your silly one? It's not going to be I won't make it one of my points, but it is genuinely so much fun. She's such a dork, and it's actually one of my favourite things in the world, is that when she does something silly, I'll immediately bounce off it, and then all of a sudden we just go down this track and we just disappear, and then we're like, oh wait,
It's like midnight zoomies.
what were we doing?
Yeah, I love it.
I think Holly's one of the kindest people that I've ever met.
Yeah.
One, look at her, she's stunning, but she just contributes all of her time. Any spare time that she's got is for others.
Yeah.
One of the first things I ever told her from our very first date, poor girl, so anxious, was just talking lots. But I just thought she was this confident, look at her go. Turns out she was anxious. I've never heard someone speak so positively about every single one of their friends in such extreme detail.
Yeah.
Not to mention just giving back to every community that you're a part of or not a part of that is even remotely more disadvantaged than you, or even if they're not and you just want them to have some visibility. You give back to everyone. You are also very determined, and you will continue to tell me that you don't think that that's one of your biggest traits. Listening to you talk about your job and how much you just love it and how lost you get in it and how excited you are to go to the next level and what can you do and all of these things. You have goals in every element of your life. You don't see it like that because you're no, I'm just helping. It's just fun. You give everything of yourself to others and to your job, which I think is really fantastic. Also, she's really, really, really pretty. And she doesn't realize this is going to be one of my 3. She doesn't realize that other people think so too. So she'll just mindlessly walk through and everyone will be like, oof. And then I just watch her go, just walk down.
I love it. You guys are so cute.
I felt like we were just listening to their vows. It genuinely felt like that.
They're going to be even better than that.
Perfect. Can't wait for the
She's
front
told me
row seat / in line with you maybe.
I can't wait for you to hear Holly's episode.
I'm so scared.
You
I'm
should
so
Actually, you shouldn't be after what we've just heard.
yeah, I was
You should be excited.
It's nothing.
I hate being cheesy in front of people.
It's not.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I love that you
And I know
guys can
that-
talk so openly here. That's awesome.
Because yep.
You're probably just holding onto Holly's leg right now, digging in.
Squeeze. Yeah.
Knew it.
Just sweating profusely. I'm my family are going to see me be cheesy.
Oh, I love it.
Always I was about to cry, but I was in too much pain.
Yeah, they tears of joy or tears of pain.
All right, next question, eh?
Okay. We're going to do...
When did you first realize you loved me?
We're going to just play a quick rapid fire. It has to be the first thing that pops into your head. We've got 5 questions.
Yours are going to be so rogue.
To be fair, it's who is.
Yeah, it's who's
the
more likely
we're
to
good
cut
at those.
thing.
We do them on TikTok all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Usually with a pillow to hit the other person.
5 questions, and I can't wait to hear these answers. No fighting. Okay. Disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, we're massive fighters, you can tell.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Who's the funniest?
Me.
Oh, yeah, I'll give it to her.
Oh.
With so much disdain, but Holly.
We would have fought over this question based on the poll on TikTok.
We have the poll, so we don't actually need to fight about it because there's an answer right there.
All right. Who has better fashion?
Holly.
Well, I guess I guess it depends on like style.
If I'm trying hard, like I know what I like, but if we're just talking like walking down the street and we're going down to get a coffee, if you're going to tell me who looks better, like it's Holly.
Yeah.
I love the Holly's not.
Holly's like,
Shout out to Lululemon.
No,
Who's normally dressed in.
okay.
Plug.
Okay. I think we might all know the answer to this question, but who likes to party more?
Holly.
I would say not anymore.
Yeah, but I'm not a big partier, so that leaves you.
Yeah, okay.
She's like, oh yeah, there's actually not all three of us.
Yeah, I was like, you might not be the biggest partier ever, but if it's a thing between you and I, it's you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, probably.
Holly, do you understand how this game works?
Okay. Who's the better singer?
I actually have a microphone at home
Holly's
and I
gonna
sing
dominate this game.
really badly.
I'm sorry, can we talk about the last time that we had this exact question from a TikTok thing and I giggled, said neither of us because we're both trash, and someone got really offended.
She's like, if you don't
We
say
need video proof.
Look, I'm not good. I'm not great. I'll have a crack. Can hold a tune. Might have been a good backup singer at one stage of my life.
what do you reckon, Kirra? The glare from Holly. You say I'm good right now.
No.
ASMR. No, she's just a bit shit.
Okay. Who would... Oh, this question threw me off for a second. Who would last longer on a deserted island?
Just read the first bit.
I love a desert island.
All I read was who would last longer.
Changing it up. Keep you on your toes.
Who would last longer on a deserted island?
Me.
Kirra.
This one doesn't even want to go camping for more than one night.
Fair.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah. You heard it here
Don't
first.
don't throw me in that stereotype of tomboy. I don't need to camp.
She
Look
loves
at
a
this
car.
lovely
camping's so
Airbnb.
much
Why
fun.
would I go to a tent? I have to stay in
Yeah.
places like this.
Because camping's fun.
Is it though?
No.
Yep.
I would enjoy.
Camping is fun.
I would enjoy one night with a little campfire.
Yeah, and some drinks.
Yeah. If
What
I knew
about,
the
what about
weather
road
before,
tripping down a coastline in
don't
like a
love road
van
tripping.
with, oh, come on,
Me
man.
neither.
I don't. I think
can't
it must
sit
be
still for that
like
long.
hyperactivity kind of thing. Like I go insane. I don't understand how people do it. We had
I
friends
couldn't
that drove.
drive for like hours on end. But if you
Actually-
stop every few hours and you just get the bed in the back of the van, you just
Do you
like,
wanna
pull
hear
up at a
something
beach,
wholesome?
eat some food, great.
One of the first indicators that I was very comfortable with you and that this was going to be a good relationship was we went for a drive somewhere, and I can be quite particular about certain things, and certain noises kind of like set me off a little bit. And in past relationships, I've really struggled to listen to their music. And then we went on a drive somewhere and we listened to your music the whole way, and I was like, I actually really enjoyed that. I was like, that's so
this
new.
one.
I was like, I can actually do road trips with her. Yeah.
That's so good.
I did not know that until just now.
Yeah.
Therapy session.
Do you know what I think we should get them to do? What we do on road trips. The 1, 2, 3 game.
We are really bad at it. Like it to the point where I'm like, should we break up?
Oh, is that the like wavelength one where you got to try and figure out the same thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon
Oh
make
my
them do
God,
it
it's
now
so
quickly.
bad. Okay.
You got to go. We go 1, 2, 3, and you say any word. Then you've got to try and use both words
Okay.
and say a word that relates to both.
We either get this really quickly or we never get it. They're the only two options, just to let you know.
We're exactly the same, pretty much.
It's so bad. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Glass.
Glass.
What'd you say?
Sun.
Sun and laptop.
And you said
I'm not playing.
glass.
We're gonna do it all four. That would never work.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought I heard heaps of noises. I was like, I didn't make out one word there.
So wait, what are the words?
Sun
Do you know
and
what? I
laptop.
don't even think you need to do it anymore. That was the best outcome of that game.
And moving on.
This is where we actually announce that we're in a trouble.
Oh, it's not even me anymore.
Okay, that game failed.
Next.
And it actually had nothing to do with you. All right, we're going to finish on this question. It's been the question of
we're
the
looking
hour.
at
You ready?
me.
What is something that icks you out?
I have two.
She's like, let me get my list out.
is ready.
I was like, I did that with a lot of conviction. Like, it didn't take me forever to think about what this was. One, when you kiss me with your eyes open. And the only reason I figure it out is because you stay there for a bit. Like, what the heck is going on? And I look and she's like,
This makes me
And
sound like I
then-
just stay and hold your
sorry, I
lips and
wasn't
look
done.
at
I
you.
said I had to. Thank you. The second one is that she clips her toenails on the kitchen floor.
Which I don't think is that bad. I sweep them up straight away.
Clem clips her toenails into a little bag, don't you?
I do.
And it's very respectful.
And
That's quite
I-
clean.
Where does the little bag go?
To the bin.
Okay. That was not
And
specified.
if it's not all tidied up, I'll hoover or vacuum or whatever. But I'd always be like, "Are you sure you don't mind me doing?" She's like, "Do whatever you want." I could clip them in her face, and she probably wouldn't get it.
Don't, but
We're not going to test
Don't
that
want to do
theory.
that. As you can tell, I'm already uncomfortable that I'm doing it like in your vicinity, and I could be making someone uncomfortable. I'm trying to do it as respectfully as possible. I would never do that, but I'm just saying.
more passion.
More passion. More passion.
This is obviously a
energy.
triggering
We do
topic.
We have a dance for that. Anyway, moving on.
Would love to see it.
Okay.
Special edition?
Maybe after the podcast.
Yeah.
Is that babe? Babe, you want
Yeah, I'm
to
done.
anything?
Okay.
I'm done.
Pop off.
I don't have an ick specific to Kirra. I just don't really like feet. Like, don't come near me with your dogs.
Your dogs. I've never heard anyone call them that.
Yeah, Ash calls them that
Where
all the
have you
time.
been?
Also,
Dogs.
shout
I
out to
probably,
Ash.
I probably just thought
When
Ash was
someone
talking
said-
about dogs.
Ash has literally said to you, pop off to Ash, by the way, this is your first shout out. Ash has literally said to you, I can see your dogs. She's talking about your toes.
So it's not feet, it's toes.
It's, yeah, your dogs are your toes. Amazing. All right, well, that's the end of our rapid fire questions. Good job on the icks. No dogs and stop clipping your toenails on the kitchen floor. And maybe close those eyes when you kiss.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, I got the
It's not all the time.
I wouldn't know my eyes are shut the rest of them.
Thank
Thanks,
you
team.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
I do want to say, though, a big thank you to both of you, not only for coming on here, because obviously this is really big for us and it's something out of our comfort zone and something we're learning as we go and things like that, and it means a lot to us. But also, I think you're both very humble individuals and you wouldn't like claim what you guys do and stuff or even think that you guys do much. But for people like us, the queer visibility is such a big thing and something that we never had growing up, and people like you are changing it day by day in your own little ways, even if you don't think you are. So I just want to say big thanks for that as well.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It's probably the nicest thing I'll ever say to Holly.
Oh, this is recorded. Yeah, right.
She's like, I need just this snippet.
It'll be my ringtone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. It's been awesome interviewing you guys and getting to know
Anytime.
you better, and I'm glad that we could keep it as PG as possible.
That
Yeah.
was far
We
more
tried
PG than I
holding.
expected, I'll be honest.
I think I dropped a few F-bombs. At least I didn't say...
Well, you did now. Staying in the podcast. On that note, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.